Good morning, Midtown, and congratulations. Wow, 10 years, an entire decade. Golly, just thinking back over where we all started and everything, and just what this means to me, what it means to my family, obviously what it means to all of y'all there. It's a really, really big feat. I I think back to long before there was Red River, before there was even Briker Woods. Midtown Church was being held in the Bruce House in Pflugerville, Texas, and I've got some really, really great memories of that. Still remember our neighbors coming over and talking to us just about all the singing and the praise and worship that was going on during Sunday mornings and everything. They could hear us through the walls, sitting on their back porch, and I still remember that very, very fondly. But I think my favorite memory of anything that we had to do with Midtown was getting to baptize my oldest daughter, Amaria, in the backyard in a cow trough of an atheist. And it just so happened that on that day, we also got to baptize George Washington. No, not the president, the real one. A homeless man that my wife and I met down at the Jackalope when we were out in Austin celebrating one of our anniversaries. Just so many more fond memories, but I know there's a lot of other people need to talk and get into. So just want to tell y'all all congratulations, Jake, Krista, Justin, Brenda, and so many of y'all others that are out there. We love y'all. We miss y'all so much, and we hope to get to see y'all again soon. Here's to another 10 years of Jesus coming back first. Love y'all. God bless.
Hey, Midtown, Danny Box here. Wanted to just take a moment and tell you guys congratulations on 10 years. I appreciate so much all the families who went to plant Midtown and the families that have joined those families, those who are gathered even right now. Thank you for your heart for the Midtown part of Austin. Our desire, as you know, is that every man, woman, and child in the greater Austin area would have an opportunity to hear the gospel and have the chance to respond. And you guys are a big part of that in the work that you're doing there. I absolutely love the concept of in Austin as it is in heaven, and really applaud that and love what the leadership has done over the years. I especially am proud of that pastor you have. And I'm excited about just the work that you've done, the perseverance, the faith, the encouragement, the witness that you guys have had, and just so very proud. And even as a pastor emeritus of Parkway, I just want to say, as you're planting church, that you guys have fulfilled the dream we had when we sent you guys out. So it's my real joy to say congratulations, and man, I can't wait to see what God does in the next 10 years. God bless you guys.
Hey, Midtown, Jeremy Kirkland here. So we in like 2013, I think, 2012, 2013, before Midtown was actually planted, we were on the original planting team, and we were, meeting with that group that over at different people's houses up in North Austin. And then we ended up backing out, right? Because, I'm probably one of the most, non-committal people you'll meet until God pins me down. And so I ended up losing my job, and we had to move out of our house. We just had our second baby, and we were able to rent a place until we kind of figured out our next steps from Adam Brunson's parents. And within that time frame, I ended up having to have a hernia surgery, and it was during that God was just telling us that we needed to go plant Midtown. And so we went down. We raised funds because we were like, well, if God wants us to do this, we can't afford to live in Central Austin. So we raised some support, and we rented a house down there it was about a year and a half, and then we ended up buying one of the affordable homes in Mueller, and then of course that set us up to be able to be a part of Midtown, and just It was a really, really sweet time in our lives, I think. Super thankful for that time in my life and just the closeness in the ministry. I think that that part of my sobriety journey was in part, right, by the folks at Midtown and my family there, and the encouragement of people. When I got sober in 2016, everybody really welcomed me with open arms, and it was a hard time, so we ended up leaving, which I think I regret some of that now, but I like where we're at now, and I think this is exactly where God has us. I think it's all part of that chain, and I'm thankful that I got to be, a part of Midtown for the time that we did, and I'm, thankful for all of those long-lasting friendships.
Hey, Midtown, congratulations on 10 years of gospel ministry in Central Austin. I'm so thankful for you guys and so glad to hear of your gospel faithfulness in the city. As I was thinking about your big day, Philippians 2 came to mind, where Paul has made a bold call for the church to unify around the gospel. And when this happens, both then and now, it's us holding out the word of life in our generation. And I just challenge you to continue being that community that centers around Christ, that keeps the scriptures in the forefront, and that holds out the beautiful gospel to Central Austin. Congratulations.
Hey, Midtown. I'm Phil.
I'm Summer.
And we are thankful to be a part of Midtown's 10th anniversary celebration. So thanks for inviting us to do this video. When Jake and Krista invited us to be a part of Midtown's core team a little over 10 years ago, we said no. We said, we are not the type of people who pick up and do missionary type stuff, and we're just not going to do that. But over the course of 2012, God changed our hearts, and we did. And one of the themes that we've seen starting then through the next decade was just God's provision for all the folks who picked up and moved house and tried to find a place in Hyde Park, through building of the core team, finding places to meet, raising money, finding a place to meet again, finding a place to meet again, and then eventually, seeing the permanent place that there is now in Red River. Has been a super cool, experience to watch God's provision over and over again.
And being part of the core team was such an honor. It was such an exciting time of our lives, being a part of a group that had such a mission, just a sense of a purpose, of being a part of something bigger than ourselves. We are all such a close-knit group. We saw each other all the time. We did block parties. We met each other's neighbors. We met each other's friends. We went to trainings on how to live on mission. We watched each other's kids, and we just did life together. We didn't always have an easy time. Sometimes it was hard, and we walked through those difficult times together. And we had a vision of a church that would be a permanent presence in Hyde Park, that would have an impact on Central Austin. And it's so gratifying to see that is now a reality with Midtown.
Midtown's mission in Central Austin is important. Thank all of you for joining into that mission, and we just wish you a happy 10th anniversary. We love you guys.
Happy anniversary.
I'll never forget when your lead pastor, Jake Box, came up to me when I was an 18-year-old senior who was procrastinating, didn't know what to do with his life, and was praying to God to give him direction. He came up to me March of my senior year and said this to me: "Chad, I had a dream about you last night." I was like, "Wait, what?" "No, I had a dream. God gave me a dream for your life last night." I said, "Okay, I know you're joking, but I need a dream. Give me a dream for my life because I don't have one for my own." He said, "Well, you're going to come and plant a church with me in Central Austin and be a part of the core team." And I said, "Okay, I'll do it." And little did I know that was going to be one of the experiences of my life that would help me follow Jesus well the whole of my life. Since then, God has been so faithful in my life. And I know he's been faithful to Midtown Church. You guys are 10 years old, way to go. I'm so happy that you guys are still an expression of the church in Austin, and what y'all are doing, trying to make Austin look more like heaven, is so noble and so beautiful, and it's worth your faithfulness and hard work. So I just say, keep going, and God bless you.
Hey, Midtown. Very excited on this 10-year anniversary of this awesome church. I'd like to share my first time ever being a part of anything Midtown. I had a crush on this awesome girl, and wanted to do anything that she did so that I could be around her more. And she drug me to this block party, and I knew nobody. That's fine. We're hanging out. Blake gets handed a little baby Della, and this guy comes over to me and says, "Hey," introduces himself, says, "Hey, I'm Jake," offers me a beer. We chat for a couple seconds. He walks away, and I turn to Blake. I go, "Who's that guy?" And she goes, That's the pastor." I was like, "Oh, okay. I get used to this."
So, when Joe was very new in the Midtown community, he and I were still dating. Kate was about 5 years old, and we used to have these big family gatherings. It was everyone on the core team, which at the time meant a whole lot of children under the age of 10. I swear, I think we might have been outnumbered kids to adults at one point, but we were having one of these big family gatherings, and all of the kids were doing what kids do, and one of the parents just parented them collectively, "Hey, kids," whatever the thing was. And Joe kind of bristled a minute and said, "Wait, they're parenting my kid." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess that's a thing we do. We're a community." And then I told him, I was like, "Don't worry. Whenever the box boys are jumping off the stage, I tell them that it's not safe. It's okay for other people to talk to your kids about things." And it occurred to me in that moment that we really were a community, and we really were living life together, that we were so comfortable in that place and so authentic. And I was really grateful that Joe and Kate were welcomed into the community just right off the bat, and kind of kickstarted our relationship in the Midtown community.
I stuck around a minute.
The night we signed the charter, it was really, really a big deal. Those of us on the core team had been praying and praying and praying and praying some more about this day, and we were so excited. And at this point, Joe and I were still dating, and he and Kate came with me because they had been part of the Midtown community at this point. And, elders from the Hill Country Association came and prayed over us. And when it was time, we all sort of got up and got in line to sign the charter. And Joe and I had a conversation. I said, "Don't sign this charter because of me. Only sign it if your heart tells you that this is what God has for you." And so I stood up and went and got in line, and he didn't. And I just prayed. I prayed so hard in that moment, and I saw him get up and 5-year-old Kate behind him, and I just started crying and thanking God that he created not only a space in Joe's heart for Midtown, but a space at Midtown for Joe and Kate. It was a beautiful place to see them come to community and experience community for the first time, and I will be forever grateful for that.